Joined by Sarah from the Rust Flower Ranch. How's it going today, Sarah?
I'm good, thank you.
Thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate you making some time to come out and see us. Tell us a bit about your business and what you do there.
Sure. So we actually grow specialty cut flowers. And I mean, that's pretty all by itself. But I mean, we do actually physically cut them so that we can sell them to local florists. And then on top of that, we create our own bouquets, market bouquets, and we bring them to the Dawson Creek Farmers Market. But we also have a mobile flower trailer that we call the greenhouse. And so you may have seen that. We just introduced that last year, parked a few places, and actually took it all the way to Tumbler Ridge Days. So we hope to do more of that this year.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize if this is a silly question, but when you say specialty cut flowers, what's the specialty? What do you mean by that?
The special part is the fact that you can cut them and, actually maintain them for a period of time in a vase or, so that's what's special about them.
Okay.
Not everything that's grown that's pretty, as soon as you cut it, it may wilt and, no longer serve a purpose, but these are intended for cutting and enjoying,
So they've been bred is maybe the wrong term, but sort of cultivated to be that way, I suppose.
For sure. Yep.
And what kind of varieties do you have? Is that kind of season specific, or do you kind of grow the same things throughout the year? How does that work?
Well, you actually can't grow the same things throughout the year. And that's because things like tulips, they thrive on the cooler weather. So you're going to plant those in fall and you're going to have those first thing in spring. Same thing with something like ranunculus. Sounds like a crazy name, but a beautiful flower.
Yeah.
So ranunculus, anemones, those are cool season flowers. And then as you get into June, July, August, I would say July, August, you really start to see things like the zinnias and all the warm annual flowers. So they really thrive on the heat. And then in fall, you're going to start to see you're going to start to see some of the things that were really lively in spring kind of come back to life in fall because they like that cold weather, right? So we have to kind of plan according to our season. Makes it a little more difficult given that we're in a northern climate. Yeah. So sometimes I'm starting seeds upstairs in my grow room. Anywhere from Christmas time to the middle of January is when I actually have to start my season.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Do you then does that mean kind of the season ends for you in terms of selling flowers kind of like late in the fall, early winter?
So I think the last bouquet that we were able to cut last year was, I want to say about the 10th of October, which is really lucky because, I mean, I don't take any wedding dates even after September 15th because there's just no guarantees up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think you probably mentioned this already, but let's dig into that a bit. I mean, as you said, you just sell the flowers. You can buy them at the farmer's market or at the mobile flower trailer, which is very cool.
Thank you.
But you also do, like you say, weddings. You can kind of arrange if you're looking for floral arrangements for a wedding or really any other sort of social occasion, you could do that too.
Yep, I can do that too. So weddings, funerals, that's another one. Especially if, the person, let's say, really had a thing for gardening. I think that's kind of a really special way to memorialize somebody by using fresh, local flowers. I think that's super cool. It's something we've done in the past, and I actually really enjoyed that work as well.
All right. Well, let's talk about you getting into this. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but before we got in the air, you started in radio, as it turns out. So you've taken a bit of a journey to kind of get to
a huge journey.
what you're doing now. So tell me a bit about that. I mean, how did you come to start a business selling locally grown flowers?
Sure. Well, to be honest, I would say that my entrepreneurial journey probably started when I was about 6.
Yeah.
I was sitting at the end of the driveway trying to sell transplanted dandelions in sand buckets. So yeah,
I love it.
My parents were kind enough to actually not to tell me that that's like, they never told me that it wouldn't work. Right. They just let it be.
They're like, you could sell anyone anything if you do the
like,
right,
giver, okay.
Right pitch. Right.
I mean, I had a few neighbors that were like, those are weeds. And I'm like, yeah, but they're pretty.
They're pretty weeds that you'd like in your front lawn, wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Great.
So, I mean, that's how the entrepreneurial journey sort of started. So in between there, I had some pit stops, like I said, in radio and newspaper. I even worked in a pig barn at one point in my lifetime.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, all kinds of jobs. I just really have never been scared to try anything, really. And the flower farm, though, was actually born out of a bit of a medical crisis. I had a medical crisis, and I was in the ICU for about a week. And my dear husband brought me gardening magazines, of all things. I'm not a gardener. I had never been a gardener. And
No
he was
kidding.
like, well, it's what was available. So I read them cover to cover and came out of the hospital, went on, a bit of a healing journey in that regard. And I came to him one day, it was in 2022. And I said, it might've been late 2021. And I said, I think I'd like to start a flower farm. And he never said, you're crazy or what are you thinking? He said, how can I help? And so I've had really special people throughout my entire lifetime just not second guess me and say, great, that sounds awesome. What can I do?
Very
Right?
cool.
So awesome. I'm so fortunate in that regard.
Did you have the farm part already, or is that part of the? Yeah, okay.
We did have the farm part, but there's a reason that we call it Rust Flower Ranch, and that's because everything that was there when we moved there was either rusty, garbage, way past its lifespan. Like we're talking 53 tires on
Yeah.
rims. Like we did a lot of cleaning up.
Wow.
And so we're now, this is just a really good way to try to be good stewards of the land as well. So, even if I never sell a bouquet, it's really pretty.
Yeah, that looks great. Do you do like anything like that in terms of photographs? Some local farms do things like that. The sunflowers when they're out in the fall and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is that something else you also kind of do?
Yeah,
or-
so my husband is a bit of an amateur photographer. He really just enjoys it. This past year, we actually sort of put all of his photographs of the farm together, and we came out with a calendar for
Oh, cool.
2022, or
Okay.
for 2025. And so those are actually on sale right now, obviously, because we're halfway through the year. And I think he did a great job. We're going to do more of that. It's super neat to watch him taking pictures of flowers. I don't think he necessarily that the flowers draw him in, but the photography part does.
Yeah.
And we've been able to host a few local photographers as well who have brought their brides and grooms to come do,
Okay.
wedding photos, engagement photos. Yeah, so that's been really neat. I think we have one graduation, group of people that are going to come out this year. So yeah, it's something we'll develop over time as our yard, beautifies too over the next few years. It
Yeah.
takes some time.
I suppose
sure.
grad's coming up, so
Grad's
you'll
coming up.
have things available for people if they want to make. Perfect.
Yep,
Okay.
yep, for sure.
For weddings, funerals, just wanting to see what you offer and how they can get their hands on it. How do people get in touch with you, find out more? What's the
For
best way?
sure. They're more than welcome to visit the website, rustflowerranch.com. If you're a bride looking for flowers, there's a portfolio there you can have a look at and an inquiry form. And then other than that, of course, we're on social media, so Facebook and Instagram at Rust Flower Ranch. And they can email or give me a call, and that contact information is available on the website as well.
Okay. And this summer, how's that looking? In case you're a bride listening now, like, oh, I didn't know this place existed. Are you able to book it?
Reach out
Okay.
early.
Okay.
I do have a few availabilities
Okay.
still left, and so yeah, I'd be happy to hear about the vision and see if we can make it happen.
And again, I apologize. You said this social media. You got
Yes.
social media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram at Rust Flower Ranch.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, that web address, rustflowerranch.com. Sarah, thank you so much for coming here and telling us a bit about your journey
Thank you
today.
for
We really
having me.
appreciate it. You're very welcome.
Join us next Thursday for the next edition of Vocal for Local, brought to you by the Fort St. John Co-op. If you have a small business and would like to be featured for free, call us at 787-7100 or email reception